I'm loving that part of my life right now,
Yeah.
is getting closer to where I came from by
Hmm.
getting rid of all the things I thought I needed to take on.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, cleaning your home has a lot more to do with your spiritual self than you might realize.
Yeah.
Welcome to The Home and the Maker, sharing advice and encouragement about all topics homemaking and homesteading, and honoring the maker in all of it. Join Megan from Shine.fm for today's conversation.
Clean living isn't just about what we put in our bodies, but it's also the products that we use in our everyday living as well. So household cleaning products comes to mind. And when it comes to those things, you obviously want something that's going to do a good job. It's going to do a quality job. If you're looking for sanitizing, it's going to properly sanitize. But I know very little about cleaning products, their ingredients, even maybe if you can make your own. So I have a friend who I admire greatly for her natural lifestyle, and she's joined me today. So thank you, Emily.
Yes, Meg, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So when it comes to cleaning, just to back it up, kind of set the basis for talking about cleaning. What are your thoughts about cleaning? Do you love it, tolerate it, loathe it?
Yeah, I do love cleaning. I
Ah,
can't say that I've always loved cleaning, but I definitely think it's part of the growing into being a homemaker, like because that's your life. Your whole job is being in the home, and you notice a lot more when you're home all the time. And so I think those are just like small details for me, but uh, definitely I do love cleaning more than I used to. But
okay. Well, that's
yeah,
promising for me.
yeah. Well,
I'll grow
and
into it.
yeah, I mean, really, the more you do, I think the more you like it. And well, and especially, now that we're kind of on a homesteady journey here,
Hmm.
um, we have a hard time keeping the house clean. So it's funny to say I love cleaning because you would walk into my house and maybe say, "Does she love cleaning?" I don't know. Uh, uh, but because we're in and out so much, we're checking on the chickens. We are doing gardening. So, especially in the summers, if you want the floors to be clean, I sweep 3 times a day, things
Yeah.
like that. So, anyway, that was all to say. You will love cleaning someday, Meg.
Well, that's good. So how, like maybe in a season like right now, it's kind of cold outside, not a ton going on. Like how much are you cleaning every day, or what's your process like?
I do still clean all day, every day. And like it's not like I'm doing every single task every single day,
Hmm.
but especially now being a mother, it's she's on my hip and I'm gonna do the kitchen for an hour and just going to each room as I'm using each room, realizing, okay, now I have to wipe this down. And
Hmm.
but again, part of the functional homestead living is always using everything you have and making sure it stays clean so you can keep using it.
Yeah, for
So,
sure. So when it comes to your cleaning products, what do you use? Do you make your own products? Do you have like certain products that you buy from the store?
yeah, I make all of mine. I mean, I buy two things really. Well,
Okay.
three, I guess. I use all vinegar really for
Mm,
my cleaning sprays. And to make them smell better, I just soak orange peels or lemon peels,
hmm.
grapefruit peels, in vinegar for 2 weeks. So
Okay.
as I eat citrus fruits or use them, keep a big mason jar in my
Hmm.
fridge and then I put the peels in. Once it's full, I fill it to the top with vinegar. You kind of have to watch it and fill it again because the air kind of
Yeah.
dissipates and then you have to fill it back up to the top. But so that's what I use for everything. So that's my counter spray, my bathroom spray. Um, I do, I have in the past used other um, products from the store that I do like, but it's hard to justify buying products that you know could be cleaner when you like or how I like how vinegar works just as well, you know?
Hmm.
So that's what I do for almost everything. Same with the floors. Mopping is easy, just vinegar. Um, Essential oils are great if you have essential
Yeah.
oils. That adds a lot of good smells. And really, if you deep dive into essential oils, each one has a different property that either can help with cleaning or obviously ailments, things like that. But anyway, so if you decided to look deeper into essential oils, they're very helpful, I think. But yeah, I keep it very simple:
Hmm.
water, vinegar, baking soda for some
Okay.
things. That I don't use as much. Not that I don't think it's helpful, but I gradually find things that baking soda works good for.
Okay.
Like recently, I just happened to have a box of baking soda that got a little bit wet, and I was like, well, do I want to keep this? I could let it dry out. So I let it dry out, and I don't know why I did this, because God opened my eyes or something. I don't know. But I had a really bad scoured pan, and I was like, I wonder what would happen if I just like dumped some baking soda on it and with a little water.
Hmm.
And I let it sit overnight. And I'm not kidding. The next morning, I just kind of scraped it out and it all came up, which I thought was very wonderful because
Yes.
usually it takes forever to
Right.
clean up a scoured pan. So just things like that. I mean, you know, my
Yeah.
grandmas keep baking soda in their refrigerators, things like
Hmm.
that.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so I try to stick to water, vinegar, and I do have one. I do use Dr. Bronner's soap.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of Dr. Bronner's?
I think
It's
so.
Okay, it's a liquid Castile soap.
Hmm.
It's really highly concentrated, so you can use it for all sorts of things. And it says on the side of the bottle, you know, you can use it for everything. For dish soap, dilute it with this much water. Or if you want to use it for body soap, dilute it with this much water. So that's really nice to have on hand because it is so basic. It's an oil based soap. I feel like it does a good job. And again, made with no fragrances. It's got essential oils, or you can just get it fragrance free. So, yeah, those
What
are
do you use that one for?
me specifically.
Hmm.
I do use it for shampoo, actually,
Okay.
which is not a cleaning product, but and then I use it to clean my toilet a lot.
Okay.
I add it to the mop bucket when I'm scrubbing floors, just as a little soap
Hmm.
agent. I have used it for dish soap. I have used it for laundry soap. I do feel like it takes a lot for laundry soap, so I
Okay.
don't typically use
Yeah.
it just because it is concentrated and it is powerful. But even like us, we're so used to like Tide or like you
Yeah.
know
Oh,
the
yeah.
companies that have like fragrance, you like expect to smell something or
Yeah.
when you wash your clothes. So anyway, but yeah, I have other natural powders I've started using for laundry detergent now
Mhm.
instead of the Dr. Bronner's. But yeah, so just how you would need soap
Yeah.
in your everyday life. That's kind of how I try to use it.
Yeah.
So
That's cool.
yeah.
So is like, I feel so like dumb asking this, but
No.
is vinegar, does vinegar sanitize things?
Yes. I
Okay.
mean, okay, I've never looked into like, does it sanitize more than
Okay. Yeah.
alcohol? Which
Right.
alcohol is a great cleaning product too. Like, um, but it's also a lot more expensive than
Yeah.
vinegar. So I do use it as a sanitizer.
Hmm.
I've used it I don't know if I should say this out loud. I've used it to clean like mold off of things.
Okay. Yeah.
And I mean, um, again, like when I clean and when I think about cleaning, I have to go back to the basics with everything
Yeah.
and like remember that God did create us with everything we needed, you know,
Hmm. Yeah,
in the garden.
for
And
sure.
so that is something I think about with everything, but
Yeah.
especially, yeah, what we put into our bodies, what we're cleaning our homes with. So I guess I'm just saying that as a justification.
No,
So
no, yeah.
like, what? But at the same time, it's true. That's how I
Yeah.
feel like is it's how I feel my home can be the safest and clean at the same time.
Yeah. No, I like that a lot for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So you kind of answered my question. Obviously, if you're not buying all of these other products at the store, you're just buying really vinegar and the soap. So are
Mm-hmm.
you basically seeing that as far less expensive than if you were buying other products?
Yes,
Hmm.
for sure. I mean, vinegar is probably $4 a gallon. I maybe buy a gallon every 3 to 6 months, it
Okay.
just depends on the season. But yeah, I hardly spend any money on cleaning products. I guess detergent, laundry powder, I spend, you know, $10, $15 a bag.
Yeah,
But other than that, it's really nice to not
yeah,
have the extra expense
for
of a
sure.
closet full of cleaning products.
Yeah.
So,
And that's well, that was going to be another question I was going to ask you too is do you have a product that you're using that kind of covers everything? Because
mm,
I have basically when I moved, I had all these cleaning products that like I don't use these. I kind of amassed these
right,
somehow.
right,
I'm
yes,
like, do we really need all these?
right. I, like I said, the vinegar, water. I think water is very underrated. Like it's just the natural solvent for everything. But Um, I I know like a lot of people like Norwex. I do have some Norwex things. Um, and then these I brought this so I could show you Campanelli. They're another Norwex type
Oh, okay.
company. But I really like them specifically because they're just water. You just need water.
Hmm.
Um, and this has been how I've been cleaning my windows, which
Okay.
is fabulous. But we can talk more about that later. But yes, for your question of what do we need?
Yes.
Water. Now, I think in vinegar and citrus is really, really helpful.
So
So,
you store it for 2 weeks, or you're basically marinating the vinegar
yes.
and
And the
and
citrus
citrus
peels.
peels for like 2 weeks. And
Yeah.
then after that, do you just put it in like a spray bottle or
Mhm.
okay.
Yep. And like 2 weeks is the minimum. You could keep it for a month, 2 months. The longer it sits, the better it smells. It'll
Yeah.
smell more like oranges. Uh, but, and you can get creative with that too. There are recipes online. Um, I've tried for, let's say, furniture polish with the vinegar.
Hmm.
Uh, I've added water, a little bit of the Castile soap, and then even just 2 tablespoons of olive oil.
Oh,
And that was like an old, this is what my grandma used to do for
yeah.
her furniture polish. And I liked that a lot. I mean, it just kind of was an extra layer of, you know, um, trying to make it look more like the products people want to use,
Yeah.
but without all of the extra. So,
Yeah. So I guess when you're using something like vinegar,
mhm.
it probably takes out the whole equation of needing to like really properly handle the product and how they might say
Mhm.
like be careful with it around your eyes. And
Right, right.
I
I
always
mean,
feel the need to like glove up so like it's not
yes.
like absorbing into my skin or something.
Exactly, exactly. Well, and I think that's something a lot of people don't think about is just how much your cleaning products are going into your body, not just by inhaling them, but touching them. Everything you use is going into your body. You're a consumer of your cleaning products just as much as of your food.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, I was thinking about this with my child now
Yeah.
getting a lot more mobile.
Right.
She can get under the counters, you know, and start to pull things out. And
Hmm.
I feel like I don't have to be as worried
Yeah.
because, oh, what's she going to get into? Some vinegar? Like, I don't know. I don't have to be scared of that. Obviously, I hope if she tastes it, she doesn't like it, but I don't think she will.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I was just
anyway,
thinking about that too with her being um getting older and crawling more and as you're mopping the floors or as
mhm.
she's walking around like even as you clean the stuff that she's touching then is
Right.
totally fine for her and it's not hold on wait for the all the chemicals to dry.
Right. Yes. Like you need to, yeah, leave the room for a little bit.
Right.
But yeah.
So, I mean, that kind of wraps up all the questions that I had written down. But
Mhm.
as far as this one, and you kind of touched on this already, but what has God revealed to you as you've pursued more natural and cleaner living?
Mm. I said it, yeah, a little bit earlier, but I feel like creating a clean home that you know is also safe is ideal.
Hmm.
Everybody wants that. But the more I clean, the cleaner I want my home to be, not just in a dirty situation, but a
Hmm.
messy situation. And I notice I'm getting rid of things more and more. It seems like the cluttering type
Yeah.
things, which I think is important to consider as well. What's in your home, not just how are you taking care of it, but
Hmm.
seeing that as a side of natural cleaning too,
Yeah.
to yeah, create a space that leaves space for you to live in.
Yeah.
And so I feel like the more I clean, the more I learn, the more I want to get back to the garden, essentially.
Yeah.
And the more I want to get back to the way God created us to exist in this world. That's not to say that everything we've ever created or produced has a negative effect on the world, but I hope that with intentionality, I teach myself and my children there's so much we can live without
Yeah.
that is just as good, if not better, than the things people try to sell us that we need for the cleanest home,
Hmm.
the cleanest life. So I think that's the biggest takeaway is just how, yeah, how much can I live without and still have just as much joy, if not more, now that I have less to worry about
Yeah.
when I clean. So that's probably my biggest takeaway from all of this. But um, yeah,
No, I
how
love
do you?
that.
Yeah,
Because even just dreaming for me about how my future, well, because we're in an apartment, I'm like,
right.
what's my future living room gonna look like? And what kind
Yeah,
of things can I collect? So when I have like
right,
the fancy walls to put it on someday, then
right.
yeah. So not as much thinking about collecting, but yeah, just thinking about making it just a beautiful space and livable,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't need all that stuff, I think is
Mm-hmm.
really, really great.
Right, right. Well, and the more I get rid of,
Hmm.
and this this is for cleaning products too. Like if I had to give anyone advice about, doing this more cleaning, low tox, non-tox, is just don't think about it so much. Go into your closet where you keep all of your cleaning products. Pick one cleaning product, read an ingredient, and then go Google it and see what you find about how that affects your body. Now go through and find every other cleaning product once you don't like what it says on Google and throw it all away. And it's really, it's not scary. I have been making quotation marks my own cleaning products, as in using vinegar, for, I don't know, like 3 years probably.
Wow, okay.
And so we've never had any problems. We've never had, it's not like we've gotten sick because we didn't use the bleach-based cleaner. If anything, I'd hope quite the opposite. Just our health, we've had really great health. So anyway, again, going back to the advice, it's not something to be scared of, because again, the Lord provided us with everything we needed when he created us. And so even these things we have that we totally don't think about, I mean, we think it's a necessity to live in a big house, or even living with electronics and all the luxuries we have. That's the word I'm looking for. But we forget that Adam and Eve were born in a garden without a house, and that God knew they had everything they needed. So anyway, just I'm loving that part of my life right now. Is getting closer to where I came from by getting rid of all the things I thought I needed to take on. And so cleaning your home has a lot more to do with your spiritual self than you might realize.
Well, thanks so much for sharing all that. It's really great wisdom. Super practical too. I'm like, I'm gonna start telling Garen to start saving all our orange peels.
Literally easy. Done.
Because we eat a lot of them. So
it is the season.
Yes, but thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Anytime.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Home and the Maker podcast. And for other podcasts from Shine.fm, visit the Shine.fm podcast channel.